We are testing something out. All right, welcome to the Requel podcast with the family. Say hello, family.
Hello.
We are discussing and pitching today Inside Out 3. We have Jania,
Hello.
Sayla,
What's up?
Solomon.
Well, here she is.
That's a good Riley impression, Solomon. So Solomon, quickly, you were saying, what would your ideas be for Inside Out 3?
Well, I think we should have a Riley as a young mom. Then as a young adult, you just have her, like, getting mixed up all this, like, stuff and, like, nostalgia and stuff like this. And that's why I think nostalgia should come in. And I think nostalgia could basically try and help out with other emotions on this, like, really giant thing, big thing that in Riley's life was changing her.
Okay. Jania, you were pitching your idea. Where do you think the Inside Out 3 should go?
I was just saying that it would be cool if we started with Riley, like, you know, in college. Maybe we got a little bit of a montage sequence of how she's grown up. And even I would say, like, her in college part could be like a little montage where she meets the person she falls in love with. They, you know, get pregnant, they get married, pregnant, whatever you want to do there. And then the rest of it's about her being a new mom, you know. That was the thought process I was going with.
See, I'm envisioning the exact kind of thing. I'm thinking, you say montage, I think of the opening of Up.
Yeah.
Probably one of the strongest, if you openings of any animated film ever.
Yeah.
And I think logically, like I was telling you, is like, I know that my emotions from being a teenager to a young adult was like a nice progression. But then once you and I were married, like there's changes there. But when we became parents, that was like a whole new evolution of emotions.
Right.
And I just feel like if we're telling Riley's story, and you either have to deal with loss, like if you really wanted to go emotional and dark, Riley becomes a new mom but loses one of her parents. What does grief come in as an emotion? And what does that say? You know, that's an even deeper extension of sadness. You know, we were talking about how these new emotions in the film are extensions of her already core emotions. You know, anxiety stems from fear. Embarrassment from sadness. And how that forms her as a person. You know, her next big emotional journey would be. But it'd also be interesting because, you know, I find seeing the emotions inside the parents as some of the more interesting parts, and I wish, like, her parents were not even present in this movie.
No, not really.
You know, they played almost no role in this film. In Inside Out 2, which we just watched, right, family?
Yep.
Sayla, what would you do with Inside Out 3?
Well, like Dad said, I'll be getting bigger in college. And also, so find a person I love, get married, but really, I don't think that, I think Inside Out 4 is what she can become mom. And I think there should be one more emotion that comes in that is, happiness. Like, I know it's like joy, but happiness is someone else that's close to joy, but not technically joy. Joy's brother.
Joy's brother.
Done.
Okay, keep going, say.
And I'm right that maybe nostalgia, whatever it is, should come in, like Solomon said. And I'm just thinking that we all have different ideas, but I think I like mine. I think I like that because I kind of like the grief of like how can grief and nostalgia help with
Ooh, it's a balancing battle.
yeah,
your nostalgia is almost like an extreme joy, and grief is extreme sadness. And how do those emotions balance you out? And I mean, I don't want to get like dark, but I mean, there's the element that you could include of Riley's medication, of what that does to the emotions. If we segue Riley into being an adult, and what does that look like as an adult, as we are now growing up, and how you could even do that storyline. Say if it's Riley's dad that passes, how Riley's mom, and get into the idea of Riley as a new mom bonding with her mom on a different level, and we get to experience inside the mom's emotions now as she watches her daughter where she was in the first film.
I agree with you. Grief would be a really cool concept to, approach maybe in the third film, but I think that that's really heavy, and for the audience that they're trying to reach, I don't know if that would be the right direction. Because they're ultimately trying to speak to kids on kids' levels and have them help them understand emotions. So
I mean, part of the arc of the first film, I guess, you go back to, is it's okay to be sad sometimes. We can be sad, and sadness is an emotion that we need and that we need to process.
Yeah.
And the arc of this one is the second one I see is we can't be controlled by one emotion. And I mean, even on the positive, like, Joy even says to herself, like, how hard it is to be happy all the time and upbeat. You can't live a life completely powered by joy. And in the movie, like, that is in there as well, as you can't be completely powered by the fear of the unknown and the anxiety of what if.
So that's part of the arc that I see for it, but I also saw the major arc of understanding that your emotions do not define who you are. They kept saying that in the movie. Towards the end, Joy said it, a couple of times.
Because she's made up of all her emotions.
Exactly.
That's why, like, her belief system and her personality, like, kept shifting in color and everything. It's just all the different things that she would feel and what makes her her. A sum of parts instead of a definitive singularity. I mean, I really enjoyed the movie, and I think that I know that they're gonna make a third one.
Yeah.
Because Bob Iger is trying to make Toy Story 5 right now.
Jeez.
Why?
Because it makes money, and he wants Disney to get back to making money. We're gonna get Frozen 3.
Okay.
That one makes more sense than Toy Story 5, in my opinion. But
I 100% agree, because the greatest two scenes paired to Up that will rip your heart out is the first few minutes of Up paired with the last minutes of Toy Story 3.
Yep.
I think it should be Up too. We're coming up with Bad Guys too.
Yeah.
In the new Bad Guy Halloween thing came out yesterday on Netflix, so you guys can go check that out. We haven't checked it out yet, but I feel like we should check it out tomorrow, Dad.
Alright, baby. Anything else you can think of that would really help bring in a story for the only other thing I could think that could be an interesting way of processing emotion, if we didn't go Riley as a new mom and we saved that for Inside Out 4, would be Riley's first big heartbreak in dealing with that first lost love, because that's a major emotional blow. But is it big enough to actually have a whole story?
One thing I want to say too is, like, women, we kind of experience emotion differently during the whole, like, time frame of having kids and stuff like that than I think you guys do. Like,
I believe that.
I think that that maybe not for everybody, but for the most part, it seems as if men, experience that shift into fatherhood after the baby's born. But the mom, because she's housing the child the whole time, she's going through rapid emotional shifts that she doesn't fully understand while she's pregnant.
So you're talking pregnant Riley.
I'm talking like that could be interesting. Like if you're talking about the monumental emotional shifts and stuff that you had when we had the kids, I would argue to say that that happens with women before the child is even born.
And that's a solid argument to state. So we all agree with somehow the story is the progression of Riley becoming a mom.
At some point.
And this could be an interesting little Pixar crossover with Soul. With Riley's new baby coming down.
That's a lot of intricacies.
Heck yeah, I got it. All right, fans. That was a good family pitch. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right. Get yourself together, Dad.
P.S. Pitch. Jania and I were talking about an idea of if Riley had a sibling, but to layer it on, mom and dad get a divorce, and mom has a baby with her new husband.
Which would enter grief right there, because grief also comes for things like that, not just death.
And then envy and jealousy over not being the priority of the child, but mom's new focus. We all know how Disney loves step-parents.
Yeah, but let's talk about step-parents in Disney.
And shout out to Ron Funches appearing.
Take away, Dad.